Hey everybody, welcome to Crafting in My PJs. If you're new here, I'm Millie, and we are on part 2 of our series of altering a Christmas story little golden book junk journal. Now, today's project has been choosing papers, figuring out what kind of paper we want in our junk journal, where are we going to put the paper, how are we going to put the paper, and kind of a preliminary what are we going to do with the paper once it's in there, so that we can get it all set up for sewing in to our spine. So today is nothing but setting up these signatures. So sit back, get a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, down to the table. So we are trying to decide now what kind of paper I'm going to use for the signatures in our book. There are 2 signatures that came out of the book, and so I just want to use these 2 signatures with added pages to each. Some people will make a 3rd or a 4th signature that can change just paper. So you can do a lot of embellishing, a lot of tucking, a lot of decorating. But I'm not doing that. I'm just sticking with the 2 pieces of the story. So let's look at our choices. What are some choices when you're picking out paper? It's a very personal thing. Let me turn on my light. Let's see. That's a little bit better. It's a very personal thing, and there's all kinds of things out there. Some people stick to a very vintage look in their books. I'm more eclectic. I take what I have and what I like. So let's just look at some different examples. And I can promise you, not all of these will be in our book. I already have a good idea of what I'm putting in the book. First thing you can start with, and of course it's down at the bottom of my stack. Here, let's move some of these over. Just some regular scrapbook paper. And this is a Christmas book, so this is one-sided scrapbook paper. I do like double-sided sometimes too, but we use what we have. So scrapbook paper, anything you have in your stash, or I catch them on clearance racks. That's where I get my scrapbook paper. But because I used to do a lot of scrapbooking, I have a lot of scrapbook paper. So along with scrapbook paper, you might also want to just put into your junk journal some copy paper. And the copy paper can be white or it can be dyed. So I took copy paper and I coffee dyed it, and I used, some of this is cardstock. I used blue food coloring, I used pink food coloring, and actually this is graph paper. We'll talk about that in a minute. And that's just some examples of all different versions of copy paper that you can put in, along with just plain white copy paper. All right, another thing that can be put in to your books is some graph paper. Graph paper works nice. Here, let's put that back. Graph paper works nice. It gives you a good surface for decorating, and it also works no matter which way you put it, so that's kind of nice too. Some lined paper. This happens to be vintage lined paper. It's from my father, and so I have put that in some of my junk journals. Let's see. Ledger paper. Now, ledger paper is usually longer. I don't know why this is, well, maybe you shouldn't look at the stocks section, but those are pretty much gone. This is actually from my father. And so what I've been doing, I just found this one sheet, and he had a list of stocks of, I guess, things he had at one time. I will, because this is his handwriting, I will put this on my scanner and I will scan it, and I will use the scanned copy in my junk journals. It's kind of one of those Easter eggs, and so as I give this junk journal to somebody, it has this little bit of my dad, but I'm not really giving the original. So that's an option you can do if you're using some of your personal pieces. Doilies. Doilies make a great insert into books. You can coffee dye them. You can food color dye them. They do get very fragile at first, but they dry nice. And I had a white one. Oh, there it is at the bottom of the stack. There's just some white, and those look nice too. And there's a blue one on top. The food coloring comes out different shades depending on what you do, and it's a fun afternoon to just dye your own paper. Ooh, I hit the stand. All right, what about just regular book paper? So just some papers that you pull out of books. Those can be put in your junk journals as part of your signature. What about some art media paper? This happens to be marker paper, but watercolor paper, mixed media paper. It's different consistencies, different textures, different way that your embellishments, ephemera, and different things, your stamping and all will react to the paper. So that's also a possibility. Gives you a thicker paper than just copy paper. And then to go the opposite route, you could put some rice paper on. This is much thinner, but it does have a nice smooth texture. It's a different feel. And then even thinner-ish is some vellum paper. I haven't used this yet, but I did buy it to use it. And this is kind of, it's thicker, but it's opaque. And so I think it would add a nice little touch to some of the books. Copier paper. So like printer paper that's decorated. I picked these up on clearance rack years ago. Now I'm going to stop here and say, whatever paper you pick, think about this. When you pick the paper and when you go to put it into your signature, you are going to end up folding the paper like this. Unless you cut it down and put it in, but the paper has to be folded in some way in order to be attached to the book. So when you fold a paper like this, now your design is sideways. If that's okay with you, perfect. What I sometimes do is I fold in half like this, and then we fold like this. So it makes a smaller little insert, but then your design is still there. And you can actually glue down just this side and make side pockets, a whole nother video. All right, so computer paper. Like this designed computer paper, if you turn it this way to fold it in half, the design's still fine. So just a whole nother look. It'll be bigger in your book. It won't be sideways. So it'll look really good. Let's see. Oh, picked this up at Dollar Tree. Some manuscript, children's manuscript tablet paper. Again, it's got kind of this creamy look to it. It's has the lines. That's really cool. Any of this, that if you can find at garage sales or vintage sales, estate sales, and they're vintage, that just makes a whole nother level to your book. All right, these are more pages out of books that I pulled. I like preset some pages for when I make signatures, so I can just pull from this stack. This was out of a Dollar Tree planner. And so this makes a really nice, you fold it in half and you get these, the days of the week and some lines, some more book pages, some more scrapbook pages. Oh, there's some more of my dad's ledger pages. Music paper. Music paper is wonderful for putting in a book. Again, something this narrow, if you're going to put it in the book and you're going to fold it this way, if you want your music to go up and down, it's going to be very thin, but that's a good look too. Typically it would fold this way, and so your music will be sideways. Again, a really good look. And so there we go. My transcripts from college from a gazillion years ago, I thought that was funny. So we're going to put that all in the stack over here. Another thing that I do is I purchase digital kits that other people. So if I didn't have a book that had atlas and maps in it and I wanted that look, I could download from this digital kit I have, and I could print it out and cut it down to fit in my book. It got a little wet, and that's okay because that's a really nice look too. You don't want everything perfect. Paper bags. These came from Dollar Tree, but any paper bag, again, it's going to be folded, so you're going to have a pocket in one place, and then you can cut off this edge and make another pocket or something else with it. Lots of possibilities. All right, move that over. This was another digital image that I printed that's going to go, or it actually did go, into my Alice in Wonderland book. I can't remember why. Oh, I don't remember why I have this extra one. Maybe I was just testing it out. I don't know. But isn't it beautiful, and wouldn't that be pretty inside? You could either cut this border off or you can leave it on, no big deal. This came in some pack of vintage paper I bought, but it's music paper. Envelopes, any kind of envelopes, junk mail envelopes, card envelopes make great additions to a signature. You can actually put this in the fold, and so then your envelope, either it'll be on one side and then this will be in the other section of the signature, or in the very center, and you can actually put your tie right there when we go to sew in the signature. It kind of hides it, but then it's kind of cute. You see it when you open, you see that little bow. Here's a bigger Christmas one. A legal envelope, you could go into the signature this way. Or even like this. You could get rid of this completely, just have a tuck pocket, nice to go inside. These brown envelopes, again, would go into your signature like this. And then another thing that people use, now this is not vintage, and usually they use a vintage one, but just for demonstration purposes, people will purchase patterns from vintage sales and all, and they will use this paper, this brown kind of tissuey paper in their junk journals. Another thing that I did not have a sample of would be wallpaper. Wallpaper makes a great page in a journal. And then lastly, I guess but not least, that I could think of examples of would be wrapping paper. If you had some pretty decent wrapping paper, you know, the kind from like Dollar Tree is so thin, it just curls so fast. But if, say you had a better wrapping paper, like from Hallmark or something, where it's a little bit sturdier, that would be great inside of a junk journal too. So the big thing to think about is, what do you want? What do you want to decorate? And what is your theme of this journal? Now, I can tell you with our Christmas book here that I'm doing, I am doing it specifically for children. So I am going to try and steer away from some of the more fragile type papers, and I am going to focus on something that's a little bit more durable. The signatures themselves, here's the signature right here. Oh, let's see if I can get my ruler under. This is how big they are. So, it would be nice if I did inches. So it is 13¼ I should write this down because I forget it quickly. And by just under 8 inches. So 13 1/4 by 8. So what you're thinking about is anything you put into this book. Let me write that down. Where is my, I can't find a pen. And I just moved it. There it is. Okay, so let's keep that down. So it's going to be 13 1/4, and it's really just under, by 7 7/8. All right, so any paper that I'm going to put in my signature is going to follow this framework, and it's going to be folded in half. Does it all have to be 13 1/2 inches wide? Absolutely not. Does it all have to be 7 7/8 tall? Absolutely not. Variations in sizes and placement is going to give my book character and personalization. So I'm going to show you what I've already pulled out for this book. Let's see, they have, I'm going to make sure it's 4 pages. Usually they're 4 pages. 1, 2, oh, it's 3 pages. Oh, and then this side is 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3 pages. Okay, that's less. My preferred way of making my signatures for the little golden books, I want to keep my story completely together, and I am using primarily scrapbook paper, and I am going to put a page here, a page here, a page here, and a page in the center. So for every signature, I am going to have 4 sheets of scrapbook paper. Scrapbook paper is 12 inches wide, so you're going to see already my scrapbook paper is going to come a little in, just like this. It's going to end here. That's okay. I don't mind that at all. All right, so let me get together the papers I've already chosen for these signatures, and I'll give you a peek. All right, I'm back. Now, I have decided, I think I've said this like 4 times already to y'all, but I have decided that this book is not going to be based on vintage as much as bright and cheery, because it is aimed at some children. It's aimed at a grandmother reading and interacting with it with her grandchildren. So what I need to do is I had scrapbook paper from years gone by. So the first thing is the scrapbook paper does have to be, this strip that had it in the book has to be cut off. So we are going to take that, we're going to cut that strip off. Now we have a 12 by 12 section. So as we said, and I wrote it down, and now I've covered it up, my my book is going to be 13 1/4, so I can't do anything about the width. This is the width I have, 12 inches. And then it's going to be 7 7/8 high. So I can take my scrapbook paper and I can cut it to 7 7/8. So this makes one of my pages in my signatures. And we fold it in half. And a bone folder makes a nice crisp seam there, and there's one page already for our signature. Now, the other thing I can do is I can take a piece of 12 by 12. Let's cut this off. And I can, I'm looking for my scoreboard. I can not cut anything. So instead of cutting at 7 7/8, I can score at 7/8, 7 7/8, right here. Score down. And then I take that and I can either fold it up this way or I can fold it back this way. And now our page has turned into a pocket page, and we really didn't have to cut anything. So again, I'm going to fold it in half because all of our signatures have to be folded. They do not have to be folded in half, but they do have to be folded. And so there we go. I'm going to foam fold it down so it makes a nice crisp, and I have another pocket page, full pocket in there. Now, you can take some scrapbook paper and back it like that so that you don't see the white. You can decorate the white, or you can leave the white just white. I will tell you this, I do take my scissors and I cut down this seam right here, like that. And I even take it and kind of give it an angle cut like that. It makes things a little bit easier when you go to fold. See, you're going to get bent pages right there. But for the moment, I'm going to leave it like that just to show you this was one way of doing it, or the second way of doing it. Let me grab one more page. I'm going to show you a third way that I did think about. And, oh, I can grab one of these pages. All right, so I have this cut down. It's 12 inches wide and 7 7/8 this way. And technically, it would be folded in half, right? Well, what if I want a little bit different of a look? What if I don't want to fold it in half? What if I only do a third like that? So I don't know if I can even, well, I'm going to measure on here. I'm going to do 3 inches. So let's do 3 inches right there. Oh, let me get everything straight. So we're going to do 3 inches like that. And then we're going to take at the 3-inch mark here. And I have lost, there it is. Okay, 3 inches, right? All right, and we're going to fold this in like this. Now, it's going to go into our signature. It's going to, let's put it this way, because I don't know where the book part went. My table gets really full really fast. All right, so it's going to be in there. So when you turn the page, you're going to do like that, and it's going to give you this nice partial page. And then when you open it, you either have a fold out, it'll be wider than the book, but that's okay. Or you can glue it down and it'll be a pocket, however you want. You can fold it back this way and give the white there. So it just gives another like dimension to your signature, just like that. I think that's so cute. All right. I'm going to put everything together and I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about putting together these pages with our book and what we might want to add to it. Because all of this right here, these are all the offcuts from the scrapbook pages. Now I can tell you, I was babysitting 2 of the grandkids a couple weeks ago, and I sat down and I cut and folded and did some different things so that I have all these offcuts. So you're going to see there's from the 7 and 3, and I don't remember why they should all be kind of sort of the same size. And oh, I know why, because I used them for something else. So I have different offcuts, and from these offcuts we're going to make some other features to go into our signatures so that our signatures are all kind of sort of set up. And if we want to do any sewing on the signatures themselves, we can do that. Oh, there's my book. We can do that before we actually sew it into the cover. So some things that we might want to add on, we might want to add on belly bands. We might want to add on some page pockets. We might want to add, and page pockets can be either half the page, quarter of the page, this big, that big, or the whole page, so your whole page becomes a pocket. Corner tucks, double corner tucks, triple corner tucks, and then a full page tuck, like this whole hole on the side where you can slip things in. So if we can get some of those things figured out, and then if we want to sew anything, we can get it all sewed together before we put it in the signature and then sew the signatures in the book. So let me get things ready and I'll be back. Now that we looked at all of the different options for paper, I went ahead and went through the big stash of paper, and I chose the ones that I wanted to go in each signature, including ones that are folded. If most of the ones, since it's single-sided cardstock, and that's what I'm focusing on this book, if it had a white back, I added in another piece of paper so it gave it more color. Not every page, but some pages. So let's go through real quick right now. Let's see if I can find my paper clips, because we're going to go through the book right now. We're going to see what it kind of looks like, and I have some of those spare pieces, the offcuts, that I have trimmed down over here to make different add-ins, basic add-ins for the book. So I think we discussed this in the last portion I filmed. So we have corner pockets, big ones, I have small ones, I have regular pockets. Here's a small corner. Here's a little strip to add with the small corner tuck. Some side, this will be a bottom tuck somewhere, a side tuck, a fold out. So let's go through. I kind of had it organized and now it's all over the place. So let's go through, and where I find that I might want to put these items, I'm going to go ahead and add them into the book with a paper clip, because our next step is going to be taking these two signatures over to the sewing machine and sewing the pieces together that I want sewn. So here we go. All right, so this is my cover, not my cover, but like it'll be the first page. It'll be inside like this, and I always put a letter to the person that's receiving this book, if I know them, and if it's, you know, and this one, of course, I've talked about, I know. So there will be a personal letter in here explaining to my friend how I would hope she would use this book. And so I will probably go ahead and sew this one in. So I'm going to attach it right there. Now, when I get over to the sewing machine, if I don't like the way it's going to look sewn in, then I won't sew it. I could also add stitches to this outside of the original sewing and then just glue it in, and it looks like I've sewn it, but it's not. So that's an option. So there we go, a big pocket. You're gonna see that theme run through this book is big pockets, because I'm adding in arts and crafts for the kids that this is for. So I want big pockets for those to go in, and then my intention is for the friend to fill it with photos after the kids have done the crafts. So here's kind of a half a page. Oh, I know what I did. I wanted to make this kind of a tuck right here. So let's put this in. Now, are these the only add-ins I'm going to add into the book? Absolutely not. As I go through and I start decorating, I might add more. I just like the way the combination goes. Kind of looks like an envelope, but it'll be a tuck like this. And then when you turn it over, you have another tuck here, and we'll do something there. A doily. I did add in one little kind of fragile vintagey piece. For this one, I'm going to make it one big pocket because it is 2 sheets back to back, and I will sew around. And I am not sure. I have a band, I think, to go across. Nope, that's not it. Maybe it's that. Maybe that was it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I did there. I'll have to come back to that one when I have extra pieces. I had them all in order, and then they went out of order. And whatever I did there, I know there's bands somewhere. Bands I cut specifically to go across to kind of make this belly band, but across the top. All right, and my envelope will be in the middle. And over here, I know this is where I had my double corner tuck like that. So let me put that in there. This will be glued back to back. Again, I had something to go up there and I have misplaced it, so we will find it and come back for it. I did add in some vellum paper just to give it a little mystique. I have to find what I intended for there. I don't know what it was. All right, again, making another page pocket, whole page pocket. And did I, yep, and I intended for a smaller page pocket right there. Let's, okay, the other half of that. Another fold out page right here with, oh good, I left it in there. A belly band to go right there. Lots of places I want for tucking, but I also have lots of pockets. And then I will most likely be putting smaller pockets on top of these bigger pockets. That's kind of been my MO. All right, so that ends that. We want another pocket there. And I think I've run out of paper clips. All right, we're going to leave it there so I don't forget. All right, here's another one. This is our second signature. This will go here. And before, I'm going to head over to the sewing machine after this. Before I sew, I will do some corner rounding on some of these. And if you have a pocket that you're going to put something really thick in, you could fold under 1/4 of an inch and then glue that down. So I'll fold, and I will also probably ink some things while I'm sitting at the sewing machine as I see where it's going to go. All right, here's where one of my corners was going. Right there. We have another pocket right there. Just some computer paper. I actually have 2 sheets and I don't need 2 sheets. So let's take one of these out. I was thinking, yep, it would go like this. Or did I intend for it to go like this? That's what I probably intended. So, do I want to do that and make, yeah, I think I will. But I will get 2 more pieces of computer paper so they're not folded. Will the fold bother anything? Probably not, but just so you get the idea. So it will be, I will glue the 2 together. I will probably leave it open here so I can do a side tuck, a side pocket kind of thing. And I have another one of these, but no, maybe this. Yes, that was to go there, and then we'll do another smaller pocket there. All right, let's keep it in there. All right, and then for my little ornaments, I am doing some little cross pockets there, but I have to cut another one out. All right, so this one I folded up a different way, so it came out white, so I could put something more there. Little side pockets, and once these are inked up, they're gonna stand out and they'll show, so that'll be nice. Okay, and this is going to be glued back to back. And then here another one, a great place for stamping because it's nice and white. And I don't want to cover up everything. Aha, there's those. I have to find the other one. Some of them I think got pushed off into the side over here. Here's the other side of my paper, my computer paper, and I'm going to have to trim that down height-wise. All right, another big pocket, something on the back here. There's where my corner went. Pink doily. I really was looking for red and green doilies and I did not find them. Belly band here. And then this page, which one am I missing? I'm missing that goes somewhere. That might be that other page that I couldn't find the band. All right, so I have a Christmas tree, a felt Christmas tree that's going to go right here, and in here or in a pocket here, there will be ornaments to decorate the tree. So it'll be kind of an artsy thing that stays inside the book, kind of giving a history of what the kids did when they received the book. So, you know, in 20 years, they look at it and go, ha, 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 look what I made. Okay, so, and then there's something will be back here. I just don't know what it is yet. I have this really cute piece. I did kind of scallop so that you could see that it had to open. But look, I have this really cute corner, semi-corner. I could put that there. I think I like that. And then some ribbon right here. That would be really cute. All right, so that's kind of sort of what I've organized as my signatures. So now what I'm going to do is going to take this all over to the sewing machine with some ink pads, and I'm going to start sewing together the pieces that I want sewn. This is not a necessary step. You can glue, you don't have to sew, and this has nothing to do with sewing my signatures into my book. But look how we're looking already. Already we're kind of filling up, let's see if I can, we're filling up this book, and wait till we start stuffing it. There is going to have to be some trimming done here, and there's going to be some trimming done probably at the top. Not as much as you would think because almost everything was measured out. But there will be some trimming here because once you start putting the pages into the signature, the pages in the middle, because of the way the pages come together, they start poking further out. So like we cut at, I don't know, I forgot what it was, 13.5. Well, now these inside pages are probably more like 13.25 or 13 and, I don't know, 3/8, I think. So we'll trim that. We'll trim that all by hand, and that'll look great. All right, so there we go. So I have, oh no, that was going on the back. So I have 2 more pieces I have to find where I intended for those to be, and I'm going to sew, and we'll come back, and then we'll do one more flip through to see how it looks before we sew it onto our spine here. All right, back from the sewing machine. And we're going to do one really quick walkthrough because you're going to be seeing a lot of this book as we decorate. This is our skeleton. It's not anywhere near finished. We've just got our bones together to decorate and finish up in the next couple of videos. All right, so 2 signatures. Going to start here, letter. I did stitch every cardstock page, and if it was a pocket and the other side wouldn't show in an unattractive way, I went ahead and stitched it on. I kind of kept this straight stitch for the pages and just trying out different fancier stitches for the pockets. All right, so let's just flip through. Here is our shortened page with the double side pockets, tucks, side tucks. Here's a tuck here, pocket here, a full pocket there. I can't find what I was supposed to put here, but I feel like it's there's for a reason, because maybe I was going to put envelopes or something there. We'll see. All right, same thing on that side. Naughty or nice. Here's our center of our signature, where our envelope will be sewn in with the signature sewing. Here's our double corner tab. Other side of the velum. Here's another top pocket. Didn't put anything here, but you know, stuff is coming yet. The shortened side of that page, I decided not to make a tuck with it, instead a fold out, and we'll have something fun there. But then there's a belly band on this side. All right, other side of the pocket, and another pocket. All right, second signature, pocket, corner tuck pocket kind of thing, just to kind of give some variety, so kind of off-centered there. Corner, but single. Another pocket. This is, oh, I missed. This is the computer paper. I left the sides open. I didn't put anything else stitched on it because the paper, you know, it's paper, not cardstock, so I didn't want things to rip. So I'll glue things on as needed. Something we've got to go there. I did find the other part of this paper that I cut off. I thought ran across, it almost matched perfectly, and I think made a great little pocket there. Pocket here. I don't like the way this is poking, so I might have to come and cut it better. Kind of got a little whimsical on this page. So here from the offcuts from that, this one's upside down. So a little tuck this way and a little side tuck this way with our envelope in the middle. Thought that was kind of cute. Again, I don't like the way this came out, but we'll fix that. It's only paper, so it can be fixed. And there's the other side, the other side. I think the snow goes great with this night scene. The pocket here, corner pocket here, our doily, belly band, and then this was my fancy fold out like that. So this one is glued on, and so something can go in there. It's going to open up. I know the Christmas tree will be here. I need to trim this because, see, I don't like the way it curls when you fold it like that. And probably the ornaments will either be in an envelope here or in here. And there you go. So our two signatures are done. This is what it's going to look like inside the book so far. So once we start stuffing these pockets and decorating, it'll be good. All right, so that's going to be the end of this video. This is part 2 of my series for the Little Golden Book Christmas Story. Next, part 3 is going to be trimming down our pages and sewing them into our covers, onto our new spine that we made. I don't think it'll be as long of a video, but it'll get us all ready for making stuff to go inside of our book. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. Please, if you've gotten to the end of this video, give me a thumbs up, and which is a like, that you like the video. And if you like seeing this type of craft, and some of my other crafts too, of not all junk journals, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, but it would be a great thing. So you'll get notified then when I have other videos come out. And that's it for tonight. Y'all have a good day and see you next time. Bye.